starting your text message with the word London to 81333. That's London 81333. I want to hear your thoughts on relationships tonight. What makes them tick? How do they survive? How is your relationship doing? I also want your thoughts on comedy and humor. Is anything out of bounds in terms of comedy? What are your thoughts? And who are the comedians and the comedians that you love? 0207 224 2000.
Let's go from right there.
You were sweet to catch him, to keep it that way. In the middle of the game, don't change the play. You know you were good till the last drop. Don't stop, keep it that way. Give her breakfast in bed sometime. Tell her that she's been on your mind. Take her out somewhere nice to eat. Put a pair of Jimmy Choos on the feet. Stop nagging on him all the time. Start bragging on him sometime. Go some places that he wants to go and make him think that he runs the show. In the middle of the game, don't change the play. You know you were sweet to catch her, to keep it that way. In the middle of the game, don't change the play. You know you were good till the last drop. Don't stop, keep it that way. Make sure there's gas in the car. Give her money to go to the spa, and she'll never forget who you are. In fact, you'll be a superstar. When it says to watch his what's in the den, get in the kitchen, hook him up something. And even if you can't cook nothing, have a little takeout brought in. In the middle of the game, don't change the play. You know you were sweet to catch him, to keep it that way. In the middle of the game, don't change the play. You know you were good till the last drop. Don't stop, keep it that way. You better keep it that way. You ought to keep it that way. You better you ought to keep it that way. You better keep it that way. You ought to keep it that way. You better I said keep it that way. Why do they always have to change? When you're wearing a ring and you're bearing their name. Why didn't it stay alive when it was smooth? 'Cause if you deserve me, preserve me, I'll be all that I can be to you. Don't change, baby. Don't change the play. You know you were sweet to catch him, to keep it that way. In the middle of the game, don't change the play. You know you were good to the last drop. You know what it took to keep it that way. You know what it got to keep it that way. You ought to keep it that way. You know what it took to get that woman. Keep it that way. You know what it took to get that thing. Don't change. Oh, you gotta keep it, baby. Don't change, don't change. Don't change, don't change. Don't change. All right, play fair now. Don't change in the middle of the game. In the middle of the game. Don't change,
Do you know what? I'm sure I've heard this track before, but it was on Jules Holland, you know, his annual Hootenanny, and she opened the show, Miss Betty Wright, and my goodness me, was I completely and utterly blown away in the middle of, like, your partner don't like you, maybe you've gone into a new family, they don't like you. How did you deal with it? We're talking about relationships tonight. I'm Jumoke Fashola. It's 27 minutes past 2 o'clock. Also on the agenda, we are talking comedy. Now, I do fancy, Carl, every time I say comedy, he just starts to laugh. I do fancy myself, not Carl, sorry. I'm sorry, I've got Carl on my brain. I do fancy myself as a bit of a comedian. Ish. And I'm thinking of taking a comedy course. So I want to know who you consider to be funny, the comedians you like, and is any comedy, any subject out of bounds for comedy? 0207 224 2000. Mick is in Bexley. Morning, Mick.
Oh, good morning.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Happy New Year, happy and healthy New Year to you and yours.
And to you too. Now, comedy. Do you think I have any?
Go there, girl. Just go there. you're made for it. The only thing I'm warning.
Yeah, go on.
It's very cutthroat now.
Right. Okay. Have you done it? You sound like somebody who's done it.
No.
Okay.
No. Well, I do it on a day-to-day basis, just between friends and everything. But,
because we all think we're funny, don't we?
Well, I know I am.
Oh.
And that's one thing. No, listen.
I'm listening.
What you got to realise, what you got to admit to yourself is that you are funny.
Okay, right.
And you are. You're very bubbly. You're very sparkly. You come over. Well, I've never seen you.
Yeah.
I've been on the
website. People do this to me all the time. Yeah.
No, I've never. To be honest with you, I've never looked for your photograph. I've seen 30-year-old Eddie Nestor and I've seen Robert Elms and all that.
Yeah.
But I've never seen you. But look, you come over so, like I say, sparkly and bubbly.
Yeah.
And easy come, easy go. Yeah, lovely.
Yeah.
Have a laugh, have a joke, and all that.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you're made for it. You're made for it, girl.
Well, you know what?
What surprises me is you're going for lessons in it. I don't think you need them.
Well, shall I tell you what it is about going for lessons? Because everything I've done in my life, apart from broadcasting, I've never been for a lesson for broadcasting ever. But, when I started to sing, and I hopefully might play something later on in the programme.
Oh, I didn't realise you did sing.
Yeah, no, I sing jazz. And,
right. Not reggae then.
Not Oh, you're outing me tonight, Mick. Those of you who weren't listening to me once when I said I can't bear reggae. Oh, let's not bring that up again. It raised so many... People were just looking at me like askance. They couldn't believe it. But anyway, back to the subject at hand. So I just thought...
Can I just interrupt?
Yeah.
I did, last time I spoke to you.
Yeah.
First and last time I spoke to you.
Yeah.
I said, do yourself a favour. Get yourself 1,000 volts of Holt, John Holt.
Yes.
And listen to Mr. Bojangles. And he went, Mr. Bojangles, didn't
Sam Davis Jr., yeah.
And I said, yeah, listen to John Holt, he's done a regular show. I don't believe it. I'll listen to that. Now, did you?
I didn't. But I'm going to get Phil. No. I'm going to get Phil. No, I'm going to get Phil to find it tonight. We're going to find it. John Holt, Mr. Bojangles.
I'll listen to it.
Yeah, we're going to...
It makes me cry.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay, he's going to find it and we'll play it if we find it.
He tapped and dance. Yeah, all right. Anyway,
if we find it. Anyway.
Comedy.
Yeah, so comedy. So the reason why I want to go for lessons is just to get an insight. I have never done it before. I don't particularly want to do it professionally, so I'm not suddenly changing career. I
think you do it at the moment, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Well, I do make myself laugh.
The sideline, then, yeah, party trick.
Well, actually, when I'm performing, one of the reviews I had once was someone said, if she ever stops singing, she could be a comedian. Because actually, I am funny on stage.
It'll be great. Just stick to what you know.
Okay.
Don't try and learn other things of other people.
Okay.
Stick to what you know.
Mick, all right, you take care, my honey. Lovely to speak to you. That's Mick and Bexley. And listen to this, Mick.
I knew a man, Bojangles, and he danced for you. In worn-out shoes, with silver hair, a ragged shirt, and baggy pants. The old soft shoes. He jumped so high, then he lightly touched down. I met him in a cell in New Orleans.
looked at me to be the eyes of age. As he spoke right out, he talked of life, laugh and slap his legs sustain. Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, he said his name's Bojangles, then he danced a lick across the sand. He grabbed his pants a bed of stairs, oh how he jumped up high. He clicked his heels, he let go a lie, shook back his clothes all around. He danced for those at Mill Street shows and county fairs. Throughout the South, he spoke with tears of 15 years, oh how he dogged and he traveled about. He dogged up and died, after 15 years he still grieved. Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, dance. He said I dance in every chance in honky-tonk, for drinks and tips, but most of the time I spend behind these county bars. He said I drink so big, he shook his head, and as he shook his head, I heard someone ask, please. Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, dance. Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles.
Well, I have to say, surprisingly, I am utterly surprised. Mick is right. I do love that. I love that. That's fantastic. Mr. Bojangles, which many of you would know, I'm a big Sammy Davis Jr. fan. I'll probably play something before the end of the program because I love him to bits. But I've never heard a sort of reggae-type version of that, and it is beautiful. Well, thank you very much, Mick, for introducing me to that. I'm Jumoke Fashola. It is 2:41. This is BBC London, 94.9 FM. Lots to discuss tonight. We're starting off with relationships. Now, if you're you're in a relationship or have any advice for my earlier callers, Carla and Nika, that his sister, Carl's sister, is causing tension in a relationship. Possibly she's jealous. What do you do? What do you advise? What have you done in the past that has worked for you? Share. Don't keep it to yourself. How do you make relationships work, particularly when it comes to other people? So you and your loved one may be all loved up. You love each other. You're just, you're in the glow. Cupid's arrow has hit you left, right, and center. You can't see anything ugly. Even bad breath doesn't get you going. Nothing. You're like, I love this person. And then the family or friends come in and they start to cause tension. I want your thoughts, please, and help when it comes to that. What are the key things you need to do to keep not only your loved one, your new loved one sweet, but also your family and your friends? 0207 224 2000. And whilst we're talking about relationships, I want to ask you this, because someone asked this the other day and I was like, ooh, I don't know. Well, actually, I do. And I will tell you a story. But here's a question. It's all about relationships tonight. One of the subjects we're talking about. Is it ever okay to have sex with your ex? Is it ever okay to have sex with your ex? So you could say, I'm sorry, it's late night, doesn't matter. Well, you've been there before, so you might as well keep going. So the opportunity arises, your ex shows up on the scene. Is it okay to have sex with them? Does that count? On your thoughts on that. We're talking generally relationships tonight, but also, as I am I'm hoping to get onto a comedy course if they will take me. I'm asking you, who are your comedy heroes? Let's go to Alex, who is in Thamesmead. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for joining us. Now, are you a big comedy fan?
Let's get back to sex with the ex.
I knew as soon as I said the word sex, people would be going, ooh, let's talk about that. Sex with the ex, yes or no?
Well. I mean, it depends. Like if you're both free.
Okay, but if you're not,
well, then that would entail an act of unfaithfulness. So how would it then differ from any other? How would it differ from a one night stand with a stranger?
Yeah, I mean, some people would say, well, you've already been there.
Well, I know, but. That is all well and good. But, I mean, from a personal point of view,
yeah,
you wouldn't be taking a risk, I suppose, or it would be a kind of well-trodden path.
Yeah.
But if you're in a...
Phil's not looking around going, is there a mouse in the studio? No, don't worry, Phil. Right, I'm trying to play you something. I want to play you something, but we'll go to Dean first. Dean, good morning to you.
Hello, Jumoke.
How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time to call us. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you as well, yeah.
New Year's resolutions based on relationships. What does that mean?
I basically, you were talking about having sex with exes, and
yes.
I, on Boxing Day, had sex with my ex because they happened to live really close to my aunt's house, so we were spending Christmas Day.
It's now all flowing into my brain. Yeah, go on.
And there's this application on your iPhone for gay guys called Grindr, and I turned that on, and the nearest person to me was my ex.
Was your ex?
Yeah, so I just thought, well, let's meet up and go first we went for a walk by the river, because this is right, Canada Water by the Thames, and we went for a walk by the river, and then we were actually like, yeah, we don't want to walk and talk, we want to go back and have sex. So we did that, but I really kind of, as soon as we'd finished, I knew that like what I'd done was not good, because
Why?
I could see in his eyes and how he was acting that I'd reignited some hope in him for us. And I never had that hope. I just was horny, I guess.
Right.
And I didn't kind of see through like the consequences when I was kind of planning to meet up with him. And so afterwards, I was just like, I've kind of put his heart out there again, because I know it wasn't just sex to him. It was like all the memories and everything coming back to him.
Yeah.
And so my New Year's resolution is not just no sex with exes. It's no sex without love.
Yeah, now you see, it's interesting because I'm going to pull you up, Dee, because you know there's this stereotype about gay men and just wanting to have sex, but there's nothing about emotion involved in that, and you've literally played that scene out for us right there.
No, and I hate being a cliche and a stereotype like that, but it kind of, there are times in your life when you do go through that phase,
Sure.
I guess.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm single, like, and I've been single a year, so just before Christmas 2010, I broke up with my last boyfriend who I was with for a while.
Yeah.
And then I've been single all of this past year.
Yeah.
Been on a few dates with some lovely guys and had a few one-night stands. The dates you don't regret, the one-night stands you do.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I'll keep going on dates. I just won't have sex with people until the real, genuine feelings are there, hopefully love. And so that's what I want to do.
How are you going to handle your ex, though? I mean, did you have a conversation, or did you just think, well, I'm just going to back away and hope that he'll forget these reignited feelings?
Well, I've kind of, he's just kind of, I don't know, he's texted me and I haven't replied yet, and I don't know what to say, and I kind of don't want to be so presumptuous to say, look, I hope you know it didn't mean anything to me, but I want us to be able to be friends, but I'm pretty sure we can't, because every time we do meet up, we do have sex.
Right.
And so there is this undeniable attraction, but like there's so many other factors for me where I wouldn't want to be in a relationship with him.
Right.
So it's just, I
But you find him physically attractive?
Yeah, and he's best sex I've had has been with him.
Right, okay. So basically you need to avoid him, otherwise you are going to continue to sleep with him, is what we're saying here.
Basically, that's it.
I mean, it's a tricky one, really, because no matter which way you go, somebody's going to get hurt. It sounds like he's going to get hurt. Because he keeps coming back, because otherwise he'd be like, I'm done with you, Dean. I'm done with you.
And he's come back when he's been in a relationship.
Oh,
like,
right.
Not just when he's been single, but when he's been in a relationship as well. And I'm just like, you shouldn't, like, where's what's going on with your relationship that you'll be happy to sleep with me? I don't cheat on people, but, like, I've been the person that people have cheated with before, and I always... just don't understand it.
Yeah.
Like, I just really don't understand, like, why you'd want to do that, go back to the person after. It's just and it makes me think less of them. Like, I don't feel like I'm breaking up the happy home. I just feel like their home isn't that happy, I guess, but that makes me sound awful.
You are a hard-hearted Hannah, Dean, in some ways or the other. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I said to somebody earlier on that sex with your ex can either be a good thing or a bad thing. It could be friends with benefits, and so if both of you are on the same page, and that's
I think someone always develops emotions, and someone always feels more than the other, and someone always gets hurt. Like with friends that have told me about their situations, and I've had friends that have slept with each other, like, and one of them thought it was friends with benefits, and the other one developed really strong feelings, and they were both telling me their sides of it, and they saw it so differently. Like, to have mutual friends doing something like that, I was really shocked at how differently they saw their situation.
Yes.
And they both ended up getting hurt, and it's a real shame, and like the friendship is still damaged from that, and it's just like, I don't think it's really worth it, and unless you feel like it's going to develop into a relationship, I don't think you should sleep with your friends at all.
I mean, I'm always surprised when friends who normally could have open and candid conversations and talk about everything under the sun, they get involved sexually in some way or the other, whether it's with benefits or just because, and then they can't talk.
Yeah. And it's a real shame, but I think you sacrifice a lot for sex, and you have to think, was it worth it? Was it worth it? And so that's why I'm putting friendships and relationships before sex, definitely, for this year.
I'm looking forward to talking to you towards the end of the year, see what happens.
Yes, well, you know me, Jumoke. You can get in touch and get regular posts.
I'll be following you on Twitter. I'll be like, I know I am. Great to hear from you, Dean. All right, lots of love. Take care. Bye. Dean there, who I actually do know in Wembley. New Year's resolution based on relationships to say it's friendship first before anything else. Is that you? How difficult is it to manage relationships? And actually, talking about social media now, I'd be very interested in your thoughts around social media and relationships, because as you know, Ashton Kutcher properly. This was live at Ronnie Scott's, and I was hyperly excited. I was downstairs in the main space. It was the first time I'd ever done it. It was just ridiculous. I got really hyper. And this is my version of My Heart Belongs to Daddy. Is there any cougars in the house tonight? Where? Winston thinks he's young enough. Oh, ice cold. How many people here don't know what a cougar is? Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, right. Probably sitting with one now. But don't say anything, it's dark lights. We're Ronnie Scott's, thank God. Botox disappeared. Can't afford it, recession. Hello. While tearing up a game of golf, I may make a play for the caddy. But if I do, I don't follow through, 'cause my heart belongs to Daddy. If I invite some boy some night to dine on my fine Finnan Paddy, I just adore his asking for more, 'cause my heart belongs to Daddy. Yes, my heart belongs to Daddy. I simply couldn't be bad. My heart belongs to Daddy. Da, 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 da. But I wanna warn you, laddie, I think you're perfectly swell, but my heart belongs to Daddy, 'cause my daddy, he treats me so well. So I had to write something because I was inspired. So this is my, these are my thoughts. I claim ownership. Do not steal my lyric. Come, oh my darling, won't you sit down here beside me? Move your body close to mine. Move your body close to mine. Move your body. Morning, the evening, and the nighttime, and the next day, the next day, the next day, the next day, and the next day. Oh, my darling, please touch me. My darling, please touch me till I fly again and again. Hold me, darling, real tight. Hold me, darling, real tight. Hold me, darling, real tight till the moon leaves the sky and the sun shines. And the night turns the light into day, and all the birds flee to the sky, till the moon leaves the sky for the sun, and the world awakes with a smile. Oh, my darling, you see, your mastery has made me a woman again. Oh! Well, tearing up, I gave up stuff. I may make a play for the caddy, but if I do, I don't follow through, 'cause keep in time. Some boy, some to dine on my fine Finnan Paddy. I just adore his asking for more, 'cause my heart belongs to Daddy. Yes, my heart belongs to Daddy. I simply couldn't be bad. so well. Yes, my heart belongs to Daddy, 'cause my daddy, he treats me. Although sometimes it gets cold at night. So well. It was all a bit of fun. It was all a bit of fun. And I'm telling you, we laughed so hard that day. There's so many things. There's some things I can't play you. But anyway, there we go. So you can see that I do have some leanings towards comedy. I don't take my...
As I say, my first wife, she is a darling. And the wife I'm with now, like, she knows that I'm not going to go and pack. Well, I'm too old in the tooth now. But she knows that I'm not going to go and run off with her.
Yes.
But this, as I said, I was looking for something.
Yes.
And I'll be honest, it was a hot, sexual, sex, compassion, and anything goes sort of relationship. And according to my wife, she said, I sort of released a mad beast in her. But the point is, she's so, well, you know, you can go...
And you've been married 35 years?
Yeah, oh yes, I've been married 35 years.
Wow.
And she trusts me implicitly.
You tiger, you, Keith.
Pardon?
I said, you tiger, you, Keith. You are a tiger. Sorry, I'm teasing you. I'm teasing you. But I mean, that's obviously because when you said you released something in her. Well, I mean, you know, hopefully that's what happens.
Yes, she said that she was around. She said she was quite prim and proper, and it's very hard to find. Like, you know, I mean, as I said, I do honestly believe in love, but it can be hot sexual passion.
I'm so pleased for you.
And I found it, and as I say, I mean, I go dancing now. My wife used to come dancing with me, but she's not well enough now. She spins around and gets dizzy, so she's listened to. But I go dancing, and some of my dancing partners, they phone me up, but there's nothing to it. She knows there's nothing to it, and I think some of them, and they're really nice. They're nice to hold and everything, but the idea of wanting to jump into bed with, well, as I said, it's fatal. I jump into bed and I fall in love with them.
Yeah, sure, fair enough. No, and I hear you, and you obviously, I think it's a combination from just talking to you briefly, is that combination of gentlemanliness which you have, but also, you know what, you're like Clark Kent. You know how on the outside you've been wearing like a proper suit and everything and glasses and everything, and then you'll get home to your darling wife and suddenly you're Superman. And yeah, I can see that happening. Sorry, I've gone off on one now. That's it.
Called a Superman.
Now listen, let's talk about comedy. Who are your favourite comics?
Well, I go right back to the old.
There are bank holidays, and yes, it is a bank holiday, which is fantastic. We're going to have a great morning and a great day here on BBC London.
This is BBC London 94.9. You're not excited that it's coming in because it was going to be coming in anyway, is that what you mean?
Coming in anyway.
But you must be pleased that it's happening.
Well, I'll come on to that.
Oh, the BBC London 94.9 Breakfast Show.
More people voted than voted for the Mayor of London. It was a lawful ballot.
Of course, I'm not saying it was the lawful ballot.
With Gabby Roslin and Paul Ross.
Something that's irritated me for years is buying tickets online, cinema tickets, for example.
Oh, don't get me going on that. The BBC London 94.9 Breakfast Show with Gabby Roslin and Paul Ross.
Let's just have one more, shall we?
Yeah, there is one.
Lovely. I'll put it with Gabby.
Oh, good part.
Returns Monday, January the 2nd.
That's the schedule. That'll work for me.
Well, it is Monday, so they'll be here shortly. Just taking you through the last bits of the newspapers, the headlines this morning. The Daily Star, which is not a paper I often handle, but, you know, with joy this morning. Rue axed by Fergie for night out with Colleen. Can I just say something? That's like shorthand. You know when somebody writes a headline and you're thinking, if I don't know anything about these people, I wouldn't have a clue what they're talking about, because he's talking about Wayne Rooney, axed by... What's his name? Alex Ferguson. for a night out with Colleen. Is that really, was that? Yes, and they put it on the front, but I'm sure that's an old story. Didn't that come out on Sunday? I'm sure I've seen that story before. Anyway, Phil's just looking at me going, well, I don't know, don't look at me. The Times. The front page, they're saying nobody is going to rain on my parade. This is young cheerleaders from the US joined the New Year parade through London yesterday. The marchers were cheered on by 8,000 spectators, and they've got a great picture on the front playing "A Migrant Could Stay Because He Had Made Friends, and it would be distressing for him if he was sent home." Right, well, that's the front pages, and I'm sure the breakfast team will take you through everything that's going on, or they'll update you throughout the morning on all the stories that are developing. I can't thank you enough for all the joy that you have brought me tonight. What a joy to spend some time with you. Tamara, thank you for your text message saying, Jumoke, you are just a joy to listen to. Your effervescent laughter, wit and sense of humour. You are a breath of fresh air. I think I'm going to take that home and pin it on my fridge tomorrow. So anytime I'm feeling a bit down, I'll have that to look at. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Now, Caroline Feraday will be here from 2 a.m. and she'll be here throughout the week. So do tune in for her. But thank you for all your calls, your emails, your texts, everything, and all the time that you spent with me this morning. It's been a real joy spending the second day or the second morning of the year with you. And also thanks to Phil for being so gracious and just making me lots of coffee. Lots of coffee. Stay tuned for Gabby and for Paul playing us out. Let's have a bit of Nat King Cole and Straighten Up and Fly Right.
I took a monkey for a ride in the air. The monkey thought that everything was on the square. The buzzer tried to throw the monkey off his back. The monkey grabbed his neck and said, now listen, Jack. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down.